Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Dow Jones this morning? So Friday was a range day and pretty much a day where the bears were in control. So you can see the bulls pushed price up and then the bears stepped in and drove it down. So the length of the tail at the top gives you a fairly good indication that the bears were in control of the day. Those are the two levels that I'm paying attention to right now. Now the challenge is that is a 650 point range day. And midterm elections are tomorrow, so I would expect us to pretty much do more of the same. What you may find is that we have a sideways move or even a bit of a deeper pullback until such time we figure out what's happening on the midterm election. So this is the range to the downside. You can see how it lines up with the 1 hour 200 EMA. Okay. And this is the level that I'm really interested in right now, which is 25.082. So a break below that is going to give us more downside. If we manage to hold this level, then we may just form a base here for a push to the upside. Okay, so we do have a bit of a crossover with the moving averages. So this could very well be sort of a head and shoulders forming. So there's a shoulder, big head, another shoulder. So again, this is the level you want to watch, 25082. Drop below that, you've got more downside coming. What you can do is just watch the half-hour fractals, because that is going to give you a bit of a better indication. And you can see how the 200-day or the 200-period moving average EMA is playing a role pretty much on all time frames. On the half-hour, on the hour, and the 4 hour we haven't quite broken through yet, but the 1 hour and the half hour we have. Just looking at the 4 hour, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit, but looking at the 4 hour, you can see the oscillators are sort of in, they've come off overbought territory, and we are kind of hovering at the moment. So there's quite a bit that you need to pay attention to. And the other thing I just spotted on the 4 hours, you see we did close off with a fairly large pin bar, but that could have just been profit taking from the last couple of days. So what we could do is just add another one on top of that pin bar. All right. So this is the channel that you need, or the range that you need to watch. So the bottom, there are two bottoms. Okay, the first bottom that you need to watch out for is 25182. Break below that, then we should be targeting 25082. Okay, here's your inside bar here, and then bear in mind that you do have another inside tail here, which kind of coincides with the 1 hour 200 EMA. That kind of makes the most sense to me as the bottom of the range. Okay, so 25140 is an area to watch to get in long, and this could very well be setting up as a potential double bottom, or alternatively a triangle consolidation. Okay, now there's no guarantee that this is consolidation at the upside. This could be a consolidation for a move to the downside. Okay, so strong move down, sideways, and then another move down. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I'd be looking at. I'm not really looking at this fractal at the moment because we do have a gap here. So if we do run up, I expect us to close the gap, but if we do close the gap, then we're going to pick up a level pretty much off somewhere in this 25, let's just say 25,300. Yeah, so somewhere around 25,300 is the area that you need to watch for, and I would assume that is more of a short setup. Okay, So yeah, so 25300 is what we're looking at, and then 25140 is the next level, and ultimately at the bottom 25082. Okay, so yeah, lots of indecision at the moment, I think, is what the point is. Let's just have a look at the ichimoku, because that will give us a fairly good indication of what's going on. So we need to start with the daily. Now, because we are in between Kijinson and Tekinson, and we're sort of running flats, the cloud is flat, Chikuspan is in the cloud at the moment. We've got diversions here. You see we've got daily diversions. Okay, so pretty good. Where do I put it? So there's a lot of evidence here that we're going to move the downside, and what you need to do is worry about breaking below the low of Friday. Okay, that's just looking at the daily. Okay, so that's kind of what the daily is saying. The 4 hour, we did break through, we did have a crossover, and we are now testing the cloud. Okay, so again, the low of Friday at 2508, let's just call it round it off to 25080, is definitely playing a role here. Okay, now we do have some diversions here as well. So we've got a low, higher low, we've got a low, lower low. Okay, this here is continuation divergence to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. So from the 4 hour perspective, this is testing the break of the cloud. So yeah, for me right now, there's more evidence for a potential long brewing than anything else. We drop down to the hour. Okay, we have had a twist in Kijinson and Tekinson. We are on the cloud. Okay, so again, this level is critical. And then what you're looking for is the next fractal on the hour. So that currently is the first fractal. So 25300 to 25310. That's the first level to watch the upside. But we do have this twist in Kijinson and Tekinson. So this is a bearish twist, and we have broken through the cloud, through price with Chikuspan. And we've got a twist in the cloud. So that's one, two, that's three signals that we have more downside coming. Okay, so you can see this on different time frames, we're getting different pictures. So depending on what you want to trade, I think for me, it's probably going to be a half-hour view. And half-hour view is very much under the cloud, down. So we're expecting more downside from this perspective. Okay, so these are still the two levels that I'd be watching for. So that's kind of, we slap bang in the middle. So I'm not really interested in trading this at the moment. Wait for the European Open, see what happens. I would expect us to come back and close this opening gap. So rally a little bit, and then sort of keep going, keep in this channel up until the US Open, and then we're going to see what happens. So yeah, mixed bag for me at the moment. I think for the Dow, I'll probably sit in my hands and wait this one out for a bit to see what happens. Put some alerts in at these two levels, and just see if we get a break below that. If we do get a break below 25080, then I would pretty much assume that we have quite a bit of downside coming. Now, stop levels obviously going to be above this fractal up here. To start with, this is a 287, 290 point stop loss, and you can basically move that stop down to this half-hour fractal here. Okay, but you know, if you're going to use the ichimoku, you're going to be wanting to run your stop sort of below Kijinson. Sorry, above Kijinson if you're short, and if you're long, you want it above, sort of below Kijinson. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this at the moment. I think for now we are really just chugging along in a small little range here. So if I come to a lower time frame, you'll see what I mean. Okay, there it is there. We're just chugging along inside this. And another thing to point out is if you look at the 15 or the 12 minute, you'll see you'll get a crossover, which will be an early signal that we have some potential move to the upside. But at this stage, everything's flat. So there's no real trade at the moment. You want to see Kijun and Sigurdsson pointing either up or down like it did here, because that gives you the trade. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this at the moment. Going to wait to see for something, wait for something to happen. Right now, it's just very topsy-turvy, and there's no clear signal. Okay, so watch these levels. That's going to give you the indication of what direction we're going in. Or even the 200 EMA on the 15 or 12 will give you an early signal to get into this. Okay, anyway guys, that's my view today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.